Welcome to Gauge by Test.com, a robust testing platform for companies of all sizes. This video we will help you create a basic test. To create a basic test, also called a test with built-in questions, navigate to the Manage tab, then click on the Test tab, then click Add New Test. Let's give our test a name. Next, we're going to make sure we have Test with built-in questions selected. Then we'll click Add New Test. From here, you can configure the test settings, which we will cover next, or you can begin adding questions. Let's enter a quick question. Start by clicking on the Question tab, then Add New Single Question. We're going to use a multiple choice question, although there are many options. We'll click Continue. You'll immediately notice that you have a handful of options that can be configured for the question, but for now, we'll add a quick question. Here, we'll add our question. Now that we have our question in, let's scroll down and add some answers. Here we'll add our answers. Alright, now that we have our answers, you'll notice on the right hand side there's a value area. A value of 0 means it is a wrong answer. Anything above a 0 is the value of the answer. In this case, we're adding a value of 5, making this answer worth 5 points. After this, we'll scroll down and click Create New Question. Great, we've added our first question. From here, we can continue to add more questions or configure the test settings. Now let's explore some advanced options so you can get the most out of Gauge. Click on the Options tab. As an example, this option lets you set the test to display default instructions or custom instructions a test taker will see before a test begins. We'll leave it blank for now, which means the user will see the default instructions generated by Gauge. Alright, let's look at a few more other options. Let's click on While Taking Options. Here, you can set a maximum or minimum time limit for taking the test. By keeping it at 0, there is no time limit applied. You also have a question count limit. This allows you to set the total number of questions a user will see during a test. You can create any number of questions for each test, but only display a subset of these during a test session. You also have question randomization. This is a pretty popular feature. And these advanced settings give you a greater control of how your questions will be randomized during a test session. Now let's take a look at some of our scoring options. You can come and find that under Scoring and Results. A pretty basic option is setting a passing score for the test. If you enter a 0, that means there is no passing score. You have a lot of control over how results are displayed to a test taker. By default, scores are displayed immediately after the test is finished, but you can change this so that a test taker sees it while they go or not at all. You can also display correct and incorrect answers to the user or remarks on correct or incorrect answers. You can set up notification emails to alert administrators to the results of the test taken. Gauge also allows you to give a test taker a certificate upon the completion of the test. Certificates can be displayed on the results page, sent in an email, and more. Let's save our changes and move on to more options. Under the Taking Limits tab, Gauge allows you to control whether or not a test taker can start and resume a test or force them to restart. You also have the option to limit the number of times a user can take any given test or windows of time between retaking. Let's save our changes one last time. Now that we have at least one question in our test and have configured some of our settings, we're going to activate our test so it is available to users. Come up and click on the Parameters tab. Scroll down to Basic Settings. Under here, check the box that says Activated. And now the test can be viewed and taken by your users. And that covers the basics of creating and editing a basic test in Gauge. Check out our other videos on how to create more advanced tests.